Hey guys, Smith City here for Smith City Product Reviews. I'm back with another craft beer from Garage Project. I've reviewed one of their beers before, which was the Canla Lager. This is called Golden Path Hazy Indian Pale Ale, coming in at 4%. Very magical, mystical looking can there. Kind of reminds me of the Simpsons episode where Lisa ends up going to the dentist and she has the gas and she has that sort of colourful dream. Anyway, get it into a glass. Oh, it's got a stiff wrinkle, but I nearly just broke my nail. It smells good just from opening that up. Whew. So what's the can? It's a 330ml can. It's got a, we'll give it a two finger head. Bubbles are quite large. It is quite foamy. I think that'll go pretty quickly. To my light, sort of a straw yellowy orangey colour, but to the light there, as it's hitting, it's looking a little bit different, but that's sort of what I'm looking at when I'm looking at it. Have a bit of a sniff. Bit citrusy. Smells like it's got like the hop characteristics. You're getting some like lemon rind, orange rind, maybe passion fruit. Anyway, get in my pelican-like mouth. That's what it is, grapefruit. So it does have a bitterness, but like that bitterness is from the hops they use, where it's getting on the back end, you've got like that bitterness of a grapefruit. It is a touch citrusy, like lemony. I wouldn't necessarily, from the taste compared to the aroma, I think those rinds, like the lemon rind and the orange rind, I think it's just that bitterness from the hops that's giving the grapefruit characteristics. It's got quite a nice, balanced, well-rounded flavour, and it's smashable. At 4%, this is good. For an IPA, it's quite low. You know, your typical IPAs are sort of upwards of 6%. And so this one's more of a sessionable IPA, which I don't mind. I just played basketball, top scored, haven't played in like the last 2 years. It's my second game back of filling in. Played alright. I was unhappy with some of my shots, but the team we played were pretty good. One of their guys hit like 7 threes. Excuse me. And then couldn't understand why I decided that we're going to play man on man, and I decided to guard him. This is fantastic. All right. Brewed with Mosaic, Columbus, and Strata for a juicy haze, hop bomb of sessionable strength. 4%, like I said. One standard drink. Garage Project, we're here to try something new, just like you. Accredited living, wage provider, and zero carbon. contains water, malt, hops, and yeast. So just read that again for all you people playing at home. Water, malt, hops, yeast. There's no fruit added, so when I say I'm getting characteristics of fruit, that's all through the brew process. That is all through the different hops they use and the way they brew those hops together, as well as the malt, and then those two things not clashing is the wrong word, but working in a way where it gives this beer a characteristic of grapefruit, which I love. I love the science behind it. I love the experimenting that breweries do, like especially starting out, trying new things and seeing what works and what doesn't work. It's kind of like you're making a recipe from scratch and you're doing stuff with trial and error, and you're seeing what works and what doesn't work. Or if you brewed beer before, which I haven't, but I'm just saying, like for breweries that are making new beers, they're probably understanding what hops react with other hops. They're probably working out what other hops react with other malts or roasted malt, and what those characteristics get brought out, and then exactly how you brew that is going to give you a different flavor profile. So I absolutely love beer. I absolutely love beer, and this one, I'm quite intrigued with session IPAs, because obviously the style of beer and the characteristics that IPA create, they're the ones I'm fascinated more about compared to like stouts and pilsners and lagers and stuff, like, because I think more time and effort of like experimenting with hops and flavored profiles go on making IPAs. Sort of that's me in a nutshell. I'm a little bit different, do you know what I mean? As a person, I've got dreads, and I'm a little bit quirky in my own right as a human, and sort of like, you know, I listen to all types of music. I don't really sort of like follow one genre, and so yeah, I absolutely love IPAs. But I actually have had a few like session IPAs, and what I like about IPAs is they're so like in depth with layers and stuff. And so if you can create a sessionable IPA that still has that same in-depth flavor and characteristics of like a normal IPA, but it's sort of dialed back in the ABV content, then you're doing a great job. You're doing an absolute excellent job. If you're creating a product that is easy to drink but has a big depth of flavor going on, and you don't feel like you're missing out on, say, like a 6% IPA, then you made a cracking beer. And so drinkability, to be honest, like I could have drunk that a lot quicker than what I did. So the drinkability is a 10 out of 10, and the rating is also a 10 out of 10. So I'm pumping out some really good beers at the moment. They're hard to give like low scores, and I suppose like when you look at it from that standpoint is, I don't know how many beers I've reviewed now. I've reviewed a fair amount, like a massive amount of beer over like a 2-year period, and the quality that I get to experience is awesome. And I was saying this to a few people the other day, is that I've started following a lot of people on Instagram that have very similar numbers to me in followers and stuff, because they're the people that are going to engage with your content when you engage with their content. Whereas if you jump on someone who's got like 1 million followers, your comment of what they're drinking or what they're doing might be great, but if your comment goes into a comment section of like 5,000 comments, they're not going to interact with your page, and you can't blame them because they may not even see your message or your comment, or they may not see you engaging with their stuff. You just sort of, I wouldn't say you're just another number, but that's sort of how it is. And so I've been doing that a fair bit, where I've been liking and following people that have got similar content to me, and they've got similar followers to me. And the engagement I'm getting back is fantastic. So I appreciate everyone who's been doing that. From the people I've been following, it's fantastic. But what I've realized is I've gone on their pages and like I'm liking some of the beer, like scrolling down and seeing some of the beers I've reviewed, but there's so much more beer on these people's Instagrams that I've not even seen, like not even heard of. And so that just shows you that this is just going to be a never-ending game for me. Like this is just going to be something that I do forever, because breweries are just going to bring out new beers. They're going to keep pumping out their good selling beers, the ones they make money out of and the ones that people absolutely love. And then new breweries are just going to pop out of the woodwork. Maybe some breweries don't make it, but then other breweries of people doing home brew, and then they get good at it, and then they keep experimenting, and then all of a sudden, you know, they've got like a little small community that actually like their drinks, and then all of a sudden they go, let's turn it into a business. And then they start producing really good quality beers in cans and that sort of stuff. And so this is going to be a never-ending game for me, which I absolutely love. I absolutely love that I'm going to be doing this for a long time. And I didn't think, like today I had an appointment with a specialist in my mouth. I've got some issues going on with my mouth. And two things, it's been 6-month referral of an issue that's been going on. And two things that have been stressing me out pretty much for the last 6 months is like, you know, is it food related? And obviously I'm trying to hit a certain amount of calories whilst on the shovel and, you know, my PT stuff and training at the gym, that if I have to change my diet, then trying to change it whilst consuming the same amount of calories is going to be another mind F. It's going to play, you know, it's going to stress me out. So I'm glad that that isn't the case. And then also the drinking of beer, I was like, am I going to have to shut this, these reviews down? Like, am I going to have to stop? And so there was elements with, whilst I was doing all these things, is going, you know, so I woke up today and I went and I'm just like, yeah, like I might have to come on and create a message and say, look, I can't do them anymore. The specialist may think that, you know, they've come out and they've said that it's to do with the 2 beer reviews I'm doing, but got nothing to do with that. It's to do with stress and anxiety and clenching my teeth. So yeah, that was sort of a little small tangent I did there. But yeah, 10 out of 10 from the Garage Project Golden Path. Really do check this out, guys, if you can. For people that like IPAs, but then also people that like smashable beers, that are sort of, that like lagers or like pilsners or just like your sort of standard generic beers that sort of you just drink mindlessly and you're able to put them away. Give this a crack. You know, give it a crack. And I really, like if you are one of those drinkers that just, oh, I don't like fruit in my beer, blah, 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 like, because I hear that from so many people and it shits me to tears, is it contains water, malt, hops and yeast. That's it. That is it. There are some beers, and I did try a beer a little while ago, the Champers, and it did have fruit in it, but that's called an adjunct beer. So they actually add fruit into it, and it's marketed in that way, and that's totally fine. But majority of the beers that are brewed that have those fruit-like qualities, especially the IPAs, because that's how they're brewed. It's just to do with the hops and the malt, that's it. And the way they brew it, that's it. So Mosaic, Columbus and Strata work perfect together. So if you're someone new on the scene to brewing and you want to make a good drinkable beer, they're three really good hops to use together, and you're probably going to get something very similar to this if you brew it in a similar way. So yeah, go out and get it, guys, because it's terrific. I've been talking 15 minutes now, and it's time for a shower in bed. So cheers, guys.